Welcome to the unofficial, non-existent Cultaholic Black Friday sale. There's Adam Pachidi. You want a Viking hat, 1-for-1 gag? Get it today. You want a standee of Excalibur without his mask on? Get it today. It's yours for the low, low price of no price at all, because it's not real. You want yourself a Ken Shamrock potato peeler? You can get that right now for no price at all, and everything that you order comes with a bottle of Ross Treadle Bon Qui Qui IPA. Get it today. Act now. It's not real. Black Friday.
Yeah, it's good that. Use code Black Friday, 20% off. Cultaholic.com/shop. I'll sort that out in a minute.
Excalibur.
None of this is for sale, by the way. Just some shirts. Ill-fitting t-shirts. You want them? We got them.
We have the reason a WWE superstar requested their release. Mauro Ranallo is reported to be in rough shape following the Corey Graves situation. And who's selling the most merch in WWE? Find out soon. So, WWE superstar Mike Kanellis has been very much in the news as of late because he's not massively happy with being in the WWE. I think it was him that was one of the first people to publicly request his release.
That's right,
in the recent run of them.
God, it's every week, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's constant. So we have the reason that he requested his release, and it might not be what you think. So Kanellis appeared on the Smarks and Stripes podcast and said that the move to request his release was all personal. It had nothing to do with the company. And then he heaped praise on WWE, saying, since the minute I got into the WWE, they treated me great. They treated my wife great. They treated my daughter great. They've treated me great. He said that twice. When I came out and said I had an addiction, there was no negativity from anybody. It was just constant support. So I think this is really interesting in that we always jump to the conclusion that if somebody requested their release, and I think it tends to be the case, but we always go, oh, it's got to be WWE creative. It's got to be. This is really interesting because it's not that, and we all just assume that it's because Mike Kanellis hadn't been being used on TV. It's good to hear that he's in a good place now. He continues saying, now that my mind is clear, my head is clear, I just want to work. I just want to wrestle. Hell, I feel like I could have my best matches right now, and it's extremely difficult when there are so many people on the roster and you just don't get that opportunity. So he is obviously frustrated with creative and the huge roster that WWE have. I hope he's given a chance to prove himself, because the guy's class. That's
the issue that there is at the moment, that there is just such a bloated WWE roster still, even though you're splitting it across 3 brands, there's still so many people. An interesting statistic that came out, not even a statistic, but just an observation from War Games, from NXT.
Say it properly, please.
War Games!
Breathy.
Oh, War Games. The actual lineup for War Games, out of everybody there, like a tiny handful were actually from the developmental system. Everybody else are like indie guys that NXT has had. I think Bianca Belair was one of the very few who was from the Performance Center to be a part of it. Whereas when NXT started, it was the development brand, and it still is to an extent, but
less and less so. I think I'm really interested by what people's perception of NXT is going to be in like a year's time. Is it still a developmental brand? They've just beaten the main roster. I guess they're part of the main roster now. Are they the main roster?
But the thing is, even the name of the company suggests it's the development brand. It's called NXT, which is obviously an abbreviation of Next, which is the next. Okay, even the name itself, it has connotations of this is the step up into that. And then if NXT becomes like a third brand, which it is apparently now, like, do we now need an NXT for NXT?
Do we need an FCW? Bring back FCW, OVW.
Bring back Ohio.
The power plant. Open the bloody power plant again.
What's Sarge doing?
Yes.
Get Sarge amongst it. But
I think he's alive. I think he's alive.
We'll see. So Mike Kanellis' concerns, I think, very much are echoed by few people within the company, and it's a shame that he doesn't get that opportunity to stand out as much.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people will probably be in a similar boat to him right now. And we send him best.
He sounds like he's in a good place.
Yeah.
And that's important.
So an update on Mauro Ranallo, who, as we know, missed NXT this week and missed Survivor Series over the weekend as well. Mauro is, in theory, returning next week, but we don't know that for definite. Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer Radio has described Mauro as in rough shape at the moment.
Yeah, so he's commented on this, saying basically he's in rough shape. I think everybody kind of knows what the situation is, alluding to the mental health difficulties which Mauro faces, of course. It was pretty bad the last couple of days, so it's a day-by-day thing. There's no way of knowing what's going to happen next. We've spoken a lot about it, and it's probably worse than we said, which is really absolutely gutting to read. And we can only send our best to Mauro, one of the best commentators, if not the best commentator around at the moment. We don't need to say that. As a human being, we hope you're okay, because you seem like a fantastic guy. It was, Dave Meltzer also commented here, it was noted to me that Logic would have had WWE management trying to reel him in after Ranallo left. This is referring to Corey Graves. But in the strange world of WWE, Graves was considered by many the babyface in the situation, and even the victim.
That's a weird line that I wasn't expecting to hear from this.
We've seen it before. The bullying culture in WWE. JBL never got properly punished for some of his backstage nonsense, and it's happened time and time again. And it's gutting to hear that that's still the case.
Yeah,
if true.
Corey Graves did put out an apology to anybody who was offended by his comments, which is a weird way to apologise. But it's
a non-apology. I don't think it's fair to call it an apology. He's sorry that he got caught. He's sorry that he got called out.
He's also gone on to say that the reason he was tweeting it out was he was starting an angle with Mauro Ranallo. Now, call me old-fashioned, but if you're going to start an angle with somebody, it might be worth letting them know.
Yeah, maybe.
I had that ages ago. I had somebody who was tweeting me about, this was back in my radio days, and they were tweeting me like, oh, like you're playing this is rubbish, I'm playing this, and I was like, what's your issue, mate? He was looking for another radio station, and he went, and he went, so he's messaged me. He was messaging me saying, oh, you're playing this, well, I'm playing this on my station. I'm like, what's your issue, mate? And he said, oh, it'd be good to start a bit of a radio war. I said, I can't be arsed with you, with the greatest of respect. Weird,
Did you
innit?
fight him?
No,
Did you fight him?
I didn't fight him. I just said, what's your issue? Because he sent a couple, then he went, I'm just trying to start a little bit of Twitter war. I said, oh, no.
Controversy
I'm all right.
creates cash. Wait, he was insulting the songs that you were playing.
On my radio station.
Yeah. Were you choosing the songs, or was that produced?
Okay. I don't want to break kayfabe on the radio world.
Sure. That is insane. 2 local stations?
Yeah.
Call him out now, Tom. Come on.
No.
I want the match. Call him out.
I ain't that way inclined, I'm afraid. I ain't gonna...
Screw you, Terry Wogan. Oh, he's dead in me. Bollocks. Screw you, a different one.
If it was Tel calling me out, I take that.
Yeah, too right.
How about me and you have a fight? It's like, yes, Terry, in a minute. Yeah, it's a weird one to say, oh, we'll start an angle, but then surely chat about it. I don't know.
Well, it's BS, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's just nonsense. That's it. Stop getting drunk and being on Twitter, because you're not a very nice drunk man. There you go, Corey.
So that lights out match that we all agreed to disagree on for AEW a little while back, it's come back to the surface as they are now being investigated for it by the Maryland Athletic Commission, Adam Pritchard.
Right, so former WCW announcer Chris Cruz contacted the Maryland State Athletic Commission talking about the Omega Moxley match, where of course there was lots and lots of blood. He asked for the commission rules on blading and whether or not if they're allowed to continue after either blading happens or blood generally, so intentionally or unintentionally, and whether or not there was a commissioned doctor at the show. So he requested this information a few times. The commission came back to him and said that they prohibit wrestlers from deliberately lacerating themselves or their opponents, so deliberately being the key word there, or introducing human or animal blood into the match. It's a good thing the GOAT didn't blade this week.
What kind of maniac is introducing animal blood to a wrestling match? Some sort of weird pagan sacrifice on a pole match.
We have an update to this. The commission said that they were at the match, so there was a doctor assigned to the show. There is a formal investigation ongoing into that match specifically, and they can't comment any further. So this means that if they find that there has been some sort of rule being broken, that there may be a fine levied on AEW. Yeah. If it's serious enough, Maryland may say that, okay, you're not allowed to run shows here again. So it could be pretty serious for AEW.
It's weird because so many people got het up about the Lights Out match. And was it that bad, really?
No.
Is it that bad, really? I mean, 2 consenting
I found it quite...
wrestlers throwing yourself into barbed wire. It's not the first time that's happened at a wrestling show.
No, I found it quite refreshing, actually. In the sort of PG era of violence in WWE, which I don't have a problem with, because I think safety is paramount. But I would also suggest that everything that they did was pretty safe. Like, it's gruesome to watch, but it was mostly safe. And they had doctors on hand and everything. It wasn't... Like, the most dangerous thing of the night was Cody going, ponk.
Yeah.
Ponk. Ponk. Put up a Batman thing. So, yeah, no, I don't think it was as bad as a lot of people made out. And it felt real, didn't it? It felt like there was genuine bad blood between them, excuse the...
It was a very acidic palate cleanser, is what it was.
Yeah, right.
I think, and I wonder. I'm curious to know why Chris Cruz felt the need to get in touch. Like,
it's an odd one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had to look him up. I don't actually remember his name, and I had to Google him, and I was like, oh, that guy, yeah. Hi, Chris. Sorry.
Hey, Chris.
Thanks, mate.
I know. I was just curious because it's just. I wonder how many complaints they genuinely got about that match to the commission. But it was just, again, it just didn't seem like. I'm don't sound like a hardened wrestling fan, but I've seen worse.
Yeah,
I
I've
really
seen worse
have.
live.
Yeah. That Fiend Hell in a Cell match was awful. He got out a big hammer.
That offended me, that's for sure.
I was very offended. No one kicked off about the big hammer. And finally, who is the biggest merch shifter in WWE? No, it's not Unmasked Excalibur, because he's AEW. It is, of course.
Wait, where did you get that from? I've never seen that in my life. And it sounded like you called him Dick Scalibur as well, which I really liked.
That wasn't part of the
Where did you get it?
What do you mean?
Move on.
It was, of course, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, taken over from the New Day as the biggest merch shifter in WWE.
Well, they sell absolutely everything Fiend related. So I'm not too surprised on this because I was racking my brains thinking, you know, New Day always sell lots and lots of merch. But who else have they got that's selling lots of merch? Like Seth's not selling merch. Roman isn't featured as prominently, Survivor Series being the exception, but he's sort of taken a bit of a backseat, slid down the card a little bit. And I know he's not selling as much merch, so this doesn't surprise me massively. So he's selling, there's 6 different shirt designs right now. There's masks, there's socks, there's cufflinks. I don't know what occasion you'd wear Fiend cufflinks to.
I think maybe a red wedding.
Yeah, hey, very good. And then there's the Firefly Funhouse toys, all the little puppets are available. They did the gift box, which sold out in like an hour a few weeks ago. Tried to get one, it was gone. So it's really good to hear. And do you feel the same way? This is going to be a controversial question. Do you feel the same way about the Fiend that you felt 6 weeks ago, let's say?
That's a really good shout, actually. I still feel like he's a strong candidate for... I was going to get another prop out of there, but I don't have it with me.
He's just having a rummage.
Too many props to spoil the prop.
What was it?
It was going to be a Barry the Shark mask for an end gag banter.
Oh no!
But it's
Barry!
fine.
It's there! I can see it! Run and get it! Run and get it!
I want to go
Run
get
and get
it.
it! Quick!
I want to get
Black
it.
Friday sale, cultaholic.com/shop. Use code Black Friday, all one word in caps. He's got another plug-in for the shop. He's got a mask on. Ha ha! Yes! It's Friday. Do a gag. Do a gag! Do a gag! Do the Gilbert Gottfried voice! Do a gag! Congratulations, Bray!
Well done, Bray!
Bray,
You're a merch shifter!
Yeah! We're fun! See you later! Jeez.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. You can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/cultaholic. Lastly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.